Okay, so is it clear to you how to find out the moment by 20 Newton about the point O? So your final answer is 30 Newton meter. And as the moment is anti-clockwise, so we can take this value as a positive. Now last force is 40 Newton. So for 40 Newton, this is a point of application, that is a point C. It is the same point for 20 Newton and the 40 Newton. So we can write the equation moment by 40 Newton about the point O. So this is equal to, for 40 Newton, find out the perpendicular distance. So for the perpendicular distance, extend the line of action. So this is the line of action. Okay. And now draw the perpendicular from point O. So this is the perpendicular. Okay. Suppose this point is M. So up to point E, distance is given, that is 2 plus 2. This is a 4 meter. Okay. We have to add this EM distance. So finally, we will get the total distance from point O. Okay. So this EM distance we can find out by using right angle triangle. So consider the right angle triangle. So this is that right angle triangle. This is point C. This is a M. And this point is E. Okay. This angle is 90 degree. This is 30 degree. And EC side, it is given as a 3 meter. Okay. So we are interested in EM. So we can write EM is equal to EC cos 30, because EM side is adjacent to the angle 30 degree. So we can use the cosine. So this is EC cos 30, and EC is given as a 3 meter. So this is 3 cos 30. Okay. So this is the perpendicular distance. So this is not perpendicular distance. It is a distance EM. So total distance is OM. So that is 4 plus 3 cos 30. So I can write the moment. Force is 40 into perpendicular distance. It is equal to 4 plus 3 cos 30. So this is total perpendicular distance. Okay. So you can find out this total answer. So the moment value, it is equal to 263.92. So this is Newton meter. And the sense of rotation, it is in the clockwise direction, because at point C, if we apply the force 40 Newton, it will try to rotate the complete system in the clockwise direction. And therefore, we have to take this value as a minus. Okay. So we have to consider this minus sign or plus sign when we add all these moments, moment by 50, moment by 60, moment by 20, and moment by 40. Okay. So now we have to find out the net moment. So for the net moment, first is minus 100. Then second is 0. Next is 30. And last is minus 263.92. Okay. So your final answer will be it is minus 333.92 Newton meter. Okay, as the answer is negative, that means the net moment, its value is 333.92 Newton meter, and its sense of rotation, it is clockwise. So this is the final representation of the net moment. So this is summation of moment by all the forces about the point O. Okay, so this is your final answer. So I hope this problem is clear. Okay, so now I hope resolution of forces and moment, this part is clear. So now we will start with the next point, that is a section 1.2 from the module 1. So section 1.2, it deals with the resultant. So we will discuss resultant of coplanar and non-coplanar, that is a space forces. So this is the first point in the resultant. In that, we will specifically discuss concurrent force system, parallel force system, non-concurrent, non-parallel force system. Okay, so this is called as a general force system. Then moment of a force about a point, couple, Varignon's theorem. Okay, then force couple system and distributed force in a plane. Okay, so we will discuss all these points one by one. So what is meaning of resultant, or what is the definition for resultant? So as here you can see, when a body is subjected to two or more forces, their effect can be replaced by the action of a single force. That single force is called as a resultant. Okay, so in a simple language we can say resultant force is the net force acting on a body. So that means if there are two or more than two forces, then we can replace all these forces by a single force. It is called as a resultant force or net force. So in the first diagram, you can observe we have two forces. One is 50 Newton acting towards the positive side, that is a positive x direction. Second force is also 50 Newton acting towards the negative x direction. So in the first diagram, what is the value of the net force acting on the given object? In the second diagram, we have two forces. One is 50 Newton in the positive x direction. Second is 80 Newton in the negative x direction. Okay. So in this case, there is one net force or resultant force acting on the system. So that resultant force will act in the negative x direction. Okay. So this value you can observe here, net value. The net value is 50 minus 80, that is equal to minus 30 Newton. Okay, and as the sign is minus 30, that means force 30 Newton, it is directed towards the negative x direction. Okay, so this value is nothing but the resultant force. Okay, so I hope this meaning is clear. What is meaning of a net force or the resultant force? So resultant is the net effect of all the forces acting on the system or any object, that is called as resultant force. So the resultant calculation is subdivided into main two categories. The first is resultant of the coplanar forces, and second is the resultant of the non-coplanar forces, which are called as space forces. Okay. So in the coplanar forces, we will divide the resultant calculation as a concurrent force system. That means we have to find out the resultant for the concurrent force system, then resultant for the parallel force system, and resultant for the general force system. Okay, so we will discuss this concurrent forces, parallel forces, and general forces one by one. Okay, so first we will start with the concurrent force system. So how to find out the resultant for the concurrent coplanar force system? So in the coplanar force system, the first type, it is the concurrent force system. So what is meaning of concurrent force system? If the line of action of all the forces acting on the object will pass through a single point, then the given system is called as a concurrent force system. Okay. So consider the rectangular coordinate system. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. This is negative x and this is negative y-axis. Okay. We have some forces F1, F2, then F3 and F4. Just take the four forces. F1 is acting at theta1 angle, F2 is at theta2, F3 is at theta3. So all the four forces will form one concurrent force system because the line of action of each force will pass through the common point, that is the origin, and therefore it is a concurrent force system. Okay. For this system, how to find out the resultant? So how to get the value of the resultant force or the net force? Okay. So the procedure is, first step, resolve all the forces. Resolve the forces and get the x component, that is fx, and the y component fy. Okay. Then second step, take the summation of forces in the x and y direction. That means get summation fx value. So summation fx means what? We have to add all x component by f1, x component by f2, x component by f3, and x component by f4. So this is called as summation fx. And similarly get the summation fy. So add all y components. Third step, find out the resultant by using this formula. R is equal to under root fx square, that is summation fx square, plus summation fy square. So this is the formula for the resultant. Okay. Then specify the quadrant in which resultant will act. So specify the quadrant of resultant. Okay. So this resultant quadrant, it will depend upon the sign of summation fx and sign of summation fy. Okay. Next step is find out the angle of R by using formula theta is equal to tan inverse summation fy divided by summation fx. So by using this formula, you can get the value of theta, that is the angle of result. Okay. So that means if you replace all these forces by the single force resultant, then this resultant, it may lie in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, or fourth quadrant. Okay. So that resultant will be nothing but a single force. Okay. So suppose that resultant is acting in the first quadrant only, like this. So this is the R value. Okay. So this R value, it will depend upon the sign of summation fx and sign of summation fy. So summation fx means what? it will be the x component of resultant, and summation fy, it will be the y component of resultant. So if Rx and Ry both are positive, its quadrant will be first quadrant. If Rx and Ry one positive and Ry is negative, its quadrant will be fourth quadrant. Then if Rx is negative, Ry is positive, it is a second quadrant. And if both are negative, this will be third quadrant of the result. Okay. So depending on the sign of summation fx and sign of summation fy, quadrant of the resultant will change. It can be first, second, third, or fourth quadrant. Okay. So for the resultant representation, we have to find out its angle. So angle with respect to x-axis is represented as theta, and this theta we can find out by using this formula, summation fy divided by summation fx. Okay, and this angle is always with respect to x-axis. Okay, if you change the numerator and denominator, so if I write this formula as tan inverse summation fx divided by summation fy, then this angle will be with respect to y-axis. Okay, but generally we use this formula so that we can get the value of angle theta for the resultant with respect to x-axis. Okay, so these are the steps to find out the resultant for the concurrent force system. So we will solve one problem so you can understand how to use these steps. So today we will stop here.